And we are live. All right. Welcome to the first, what do we call this? The Saturday or Sunday. It's Sunday. Holy
The
crap.
Sunday Breakfast of Champions.
Yes, it's the Sunday comic book hangover show. I am Nate from Hallyak Comics, and I am joined by two very cool people. Hagen from Lettuce Comics, and on bottom, Cliff from Cliff on Comics. Good morning, boys.
I'm on the bottom. Oh my.
I thought you would like that.
How scandalous.
So this is formerly Brian used to do Breakfast with Brian. Brian LCS would do a morning show every morning, and I would watch it most mornings when I was home, drink a cup of coffee, and say hi to all of my favorite people in the chat. And that spot was vacated, and then I got a message from JSS Brooklyn. And he was like, hey, why don't you jump on that spot with your buddy Hagen? And so I said, why don't we do that? And we did. And that is as far as the plan got. So I want, yeah. So I appreciate both of you guys being here. I want to say hi to some folks who are in the chat. First off, good morning, Christina. Thank you so much. She's already dropping links in there. Eric from SideQuest, thank you. Brian LCS just mentioned, thank you. Big Nasty Comics, our buddy Dope, who we will, actually Big Nasty and Dope, we're going to see both of those guys down at Heroes Con. K Munin, good morning, my friend. Jason from Renegade Rants, good morning, happy Sunday. There's Cliff. Cliff's in the chat and up here. He's a huge Mo. JSS, good morning. Good morning. Whatever happens here, I've already squarely put the blame on your shoulders. This is your fault.
We are your responsibility now. Congratulations.
Oh, and Eric, yes.
JSS's fault for this?
Mm-hmm. Yes, this was his idea.
Oh my god. So when we start talking about skin hooks, anal sex, and bubblegum, it's all his fault.
Okay, I just woke up. I just woke up.
It took me like a full 2 seconds to process what I just heard.
That was like like when a large dinosaur gets their tail stepped on and it takes 2 seconds for the pain impulse to travel to their peanut brain. That's what that was. Thank you.
I'm just not used to hearing that on Sunday. Tuesday, sure, but Sunday, no. Sunday's the Lord's Day, sir.
Oh, good.
It depends on your religion now, doesn't it?
I guess so.
Well, how about last week? I mean, I kind of feel like a Sunday show, you can like talk about the week that was and the week that will be. So,
but we live in a world where those conversations are awful. So
yeah, let's focus. Let's
the weekend comics.
That's what I'm saying. Let's focus on comics and nerdery for last week.
Yeah. Because I'm a huge Superman fan, right?
Yes.
So all week long, people were sending me like stuff about Tom Welling getting a DUI, and like,
yes.
I absolutely do not condone it. But he wasn't actually driving. It was one of those things where he was asleep with the keys in the ignition. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, he wasn't driving. Like, he is the good guy that I know him to be. But to top it all off. January 2025 was the longest year of my life. No one could blame that man for drinking. No one.
That's upsetting. If it was just a case of he was in the car with the keys, because I really don't know anything other than I did see the mugshot. But I listen to the Talkville podcast that Tom Welling and Michael Rosenberg do, where they rewatch episodes of Smallville and talk through. Yes. It's pretty fun, honestly. But he seems like a really good guy, so it did kind of
so good.
Yeah,
and he let me feel his muscles up at Terrificon. He's a great guy.
Well, what about let's go to this, Cliff. I'm gonna.
Did I read?
What do you think of Mr. Robert Liefeld's opinion here?
I never think highly of his opinions. It's like, he's a broken clock. He's right twice a day. You know what? He's not allowed to comment on people's bad shots.
I thought the exact same thing. I thought the exact same thing. Yeah, give me a minute. Give me a minute. So but that last shot, the turning, like, I liked I liked the motion of it. Like, to take that still is kind of a cheap shot.
And James Gunn said they used a wide angle lens, you know? And I mean, technically he did it with Guardians of the Galaxy, and you know, he probably should have listened to fans' reception on not being crazy about that wide angle shot from that movie. You know.
I guess so. It is undeniable that shot looks rough, like in the trailer.
Goofy, but it also looks good. Like, it doesn't look like I don't believe he's flying, but you're just distracted by that goofy face, and he's such an incredibly attractive man normally. You know, by the way, with the bridge of his nose, a wide angle lens should have been a no all the way through. He's gorgeous, very Christopher Reeve looking, but he does have a wide bridge on the nose, and the freaking wide angle lens, it's doing no one favors. Like, look at my nostrils. This and a wide angle lens cannot be good for me. I would send my SI through the roof.
Now, I was just gonna say that, like, undeniably it looks rough. Like, the CGI isn't quite there, but it is a trailer. Shots change from trailer to movie all the time.
There's no CGI there. There's no CGI there.
It seems like it would be composited, because his eyes are looking completely different directions.
Well, because of the wide angle lens and the bridge, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have friends in photography who are like able to like talk me through this. You know, and it makes perfect sense. Like, it's just a beautiful shot of him flying and a beautiful shot of a background that they've recorded. They blended them together. But like, yeah, like the wide angle lens, you know, it's doing zero favors for everyone here. And clearly this shot has to be reshot or removed from the movie after this.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think they're going to remove it.
I would in a heartbeat. I'm like, yep, this shit's not making the final cut. No. Collective.
Good morning,
gentlemen.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, you are.
I had to come on for your inaugural. I know. I had to come on for your inaugural, and it's funny. Even if I would set my alarm, when I know I have to wake up, my body clock always seems to wake up before the alarm. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of genetic failure. I think it's hooked right onto the defective collector's gene in my DNA strand.
Well, like Cliff said, my body clock is the only broken clock that's not right twice a day. It's wrong all the time. So I need my alarm, and sometimes it even overrides that. Ask my boss.
Yeah. No, mine is dangerous. I don't know about you guys, but do you ever have like the midday, oh shit, how did I fall asleep at my desk?
Yes.
No, I can't fall
Well, you're a
asleep
teacher. You don't have that luxury.
There's freaking kids everywhere. But the second, you know, I will have in my mind all the things I'm going to get done when I get home. But the second my butt touches the couch, I'm out. I'm out for an hour minimum.
I fell asleep during my planning period when I was a teacher once.
Never. Adrenaline is too high.
It was a complete accident, a complete and total accident. Like, I had like been dealing with insomnia. I was given sleeping pills. I took one a little bit too late and was just like a zombie all through the day. Fell asleep during my planning period and got woken up by the bell. And I was like, oh God. I was just flying by the seat of my pants for the rest of the day. Well, it was rough.
If we can stick with Superman for a minute, has anyone else read this but me? Superman, the Space Age? Because I think this is, I mean, I got it from the library.
You know, it's, oh my God, I liked it, but it's also slightly not my cup of tea.
Why?
I don't know. Like
it's okay. I just wonder why.
Well, no, like it's just the art is like too distracting for me because I associate that artwork with ecstatics. I do not associate it with Superman. It's too jarring for me visually.
I really like. It does. It does. I like Mike Allred's art so much. I've been a fan of his since Madman, which was a fun book that, you know, was his own indie creation. But I really like his...
I like Madman. To be
I
honest,
yeah, I do too, a lot.
I
And
like the
I
look.
like
I like the look and I like the whole feel of it.
I guess what I like about this a lot is it has a Silver Age feel in the artwork, as well as
Sometimes, yeah.
the story they're telling. You know, it's the space age, the time it's
Silver
taking place.
Age, Silver Age. Are you freeze dried or something, man?
Yeah,
Silver
I
Age.
am.
Come on, man.
It
By the
is.
But
way, may I
Very.
just? I'm sorry. May I
No,
say that
it's
I
got that.
have I have an A-OK for you, Mr. Hall? Yeah,
what?
and I want to show them because I don't know. I just wanted to get. I didn't mean to interrupt everyone. I apologize. I just wanted to show you what's going to come to you because on account of.
All right. I'm gonna embiggen you, but you know it's not necessary, my friend.
I know it's not
Um,
necessary, but I bought these specifically for you.
all right. Oh my gosh.
Oh, how appropriate.
Come on. Yeah. You sent me that video.
I did, didn't I?
That's extremely kind of you. So if you don't know, Eric from SideQuest sent me the original 12-issue maxi series because I was chasing that, and he got that and a 4-issue mini. And this is, I believe, the last thing I need to complete my Amethyst collection because this is the ongoing.
That's what I gathered.
Steven, that is very kind of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
These
Matt, why did you guys keep? You don't have to send me things. It's okay. Thank you. Oh
well,
man.
I don't mean to be crass, but I already told you. These were in an auction and it was the complete set. I thought the bags looked kind of old. I'm convinced that these were in. I slipped these into Mylars for you. These books when these books went into the bags, were sealed up and then left.
Yeah.
I don't know. These don't look like they've even ever been read.
I'm shocked.
They will be. You shut up, Hagen. Cliff is a fellow fan of Amethyst.
Yes, indeed. It's one of those underappreciated stories, and
it really is a ton of fun. Like it feels like what He-Man and She-Ra could be if they took themselves a little bit more seriously, but not Conan seriously.
Christopher, I think that it's a close call.
you took the words out of my mouth, Christopher.
But the thing is, the books are in such high grade that and they present. I mean, there's storage. I mean, sitting around little foibles on them, but the pages are bone white. I mean, it's just. Oh, these are good.
That is great.
You have such an eye for high grade books. Like anytime that I've done trades with people or anytime somebody's asked me if they could send me something because they have a duplicate, I told them like send me the worst one. I genuinely don't care. But your worst one is like it's like a 9.6 versus a 9.
Look at that.
To find one like this, I mean, I think that this was by a fellow named Robin Roberts, and he runs a comic book shop, and he's one of the merry men on one of the action auctions or comic the Madhouse or whatever, and so he'll put stuff up just for fun, and at an auction, and I will be crass, so you don't feel like I did too much, but no one was interested in these, and he put an opening bid of $25 for the entire set, and so I put in 25, and then a guy named there are various marplots in the auction community. That is to say, competitors, not marplots, but competitors. And Trollfire is one of them. And so he put $30 on it because I thought, oh, I guess he really wants these. So I wasn't gonna bid him up to have him have to choke up a whole bunch more money. And then it stalled at 30, and I said, damn. And so I said, Robin has a couple other things that that I had already bought from him. And so I said, geez, I almost got that amethyst run. And he said, well, Trollfire wants to trade me for it. He says, do you want them? And I said, I would be happy to buy them at the $30 rate. And he says, yes, $30. So I already had paid for the shipping for the other stuff that I had purchased from him. Here's Dr. Fate.
That's
and,
the one. That's awesome.
That's cool.
And then and then they just arrived 2 days ago. And then and honestly, the reason I bought these was for you.
Well, that is, I am really touched, Stephen. I really do appreciate it so much. I'm super. It is. It like legit is.
It is.
That's why I'm doing a giveaway on my channel, is because like just everybody is so nice about sending things and thinking about each other. I just kind of want to keep that ball rolling. This is awesome.
I mean, the whole thing. And so and it looked like someone had stored them next to pizza boxes or something because they were yellowed. The tape was the wrong kind of tape from, I mean, more than a decade ago. I mean, when they first came out, 85 or whatever, 85, 86. Yeah, the last issue is August of 86. This is the last issue.
Cool.
So I said, I've got to get it. I had to rebag them anyway because I could not live with those in those bags. They were just, it was grotty. And so I pulled them out. I unsleeved them, and they were starting. They literally were decomposing because they have that kind of sticky feel to them when the plastic actually starts to. And I said, I've got to get these out of these bags now, and they are perfect. They were just. The bag did its job. They were just perfect. And so I'm very happy. And if you will on Instagram, just drop me your address again, and I will. I'll box these up and get them out sometime next week early. It's you guys like this eclectic fun stuff. And I am not hidebound, but in any manner, to buying books that are fun. And like I've got a whole chunk of Xenas coming to me now.
Oh,
because they're fun, right? And fun is the most fun. If you can't have fun with the little stuff, the big stuff really. I mean, I must buy Golden Age transcendental books that will stand the test of time and history. Come on, man.
Right.
Enjoy the things. And half of my enjoyment on this instance is the fact of your enjoyment for it, because I vibe that totally. I'm so with that. And anyway, that's what I got.
Well, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that, and the fact that you use the word eclectic to describe our love of hot garbage.
It's
very not hot garbage.
Very
and I call it whimsical.
I was whimsical as well. I do have a point to what you said, because you were like Golden Age books, which will stand the test of time. Like, since the very first human being scrawled on a cave wall, we have always been stupid. We will always be stupid. And so, like, stupid books, dumb books, whimsical books, they will stand the test of time, just in a slightly different way than, like, the art of Schomburg.
Yes, because no one would buy them, and they're stuck in the boxes that they can't get rid of, and they won't throw them away. They will live longer. They will be like spiders and roaches. Incidentally, did you know that they translated some of the earliest cave drawings? I think it was in France that they actually translated what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what? Did you find it? Did you hear what they said was what they
I
translated to?
I think what you're talking about is like Werner Herzog did a documentary on, I think it's called The Cave of Dreams. I watched that in
Yeah,
an archaeology class.
I'm
that was a
not that I'm not that smart. I was going to make a joke, and it says who's shit in this cave?
Yeah. Well, there's like bathroom graffiti in Roman
Oh,
in
yeah,
Oh
Roman
yeah,
yeah.
oh
bathhouses
yeah.
where it's like
I
it's
love that stuff.
penises and like call Thelonious for a good time. Like it's that kind of stuff.
Do you know
Um
they translated one that says, the one that they always said, no matter how much you jiggle and dance, some always ends up on your pants. I don't know if you gentlemen are old enough to remember that, but they had the same thing, except they made it an allusion to togas, that they always get pee on their togas. And I go, God, the things don't change. I'm telling you, I am keeping this at a very high level,
That's
and
very
this is
good.
important for your inaugural breakfast club thing here. I want to help.
if you can't handle us at our worst, you can't handle us at our even worse than that. So that's fine. We're setting a high watermark here.
Steven, I have asked you, but I don't know if I've heard the answer. Have you been reading the new Metamorpho at all?
I
Because I
haven't
know.
even I haven't even touched it yet because I saw that Matt likes comics, got that beautiful silvery foil metamorpho with him, like a silver background with him coming up and out.
Mhm.
I said, oh, I think that looks, so I'll probably fall into that trap eventually, as far as that goes.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't started. I haven't started the new Metamorpho. But the reason I think that they're smart because they have Metamorpho in that trailer.
oh yeah.
And when the face went up, and I said, "God, that guy looks familiar," and honestly, it didn't even register who it was. I couldn't quite figure out what it was. And then everyone's going Metamorpho, Metamorpho, which was the kick in the backside for me to finish because I was putting together the run. Anyway, I had gotten a few of them, and I just managed to finish the run.
Yeah, I watched the replay and you showing all those off. Those were awesome. I actually have.
It's
Yeah,
a fun title.
what's funny to me, I have the first issue, I have the last issue, and I have a couple in between. So I've got the bread for my sandwich. I just have to fill it.
You have
Um,
the Alpha and the Omega.
correct. And I don't, Cliff, are you reading it at all? I know you're a DC guy too.
I picked up issue 1. I haven't read it yet. I hear good things, so that encourages me to get to it.
I don't think Legion is completely wrong. The second issue was not as good as the first, but the first was a ton of fun and it felt like a Silver Age book. Number 2, not as good. Not as
Oh,
good.
that doesn't bode well.
I know, but
I wish
maybe
they'd give them the art and the writers to do it right. And but I always feel like with any comic, give them the best writers and artists you can. But if it doesn't have a good story, the art can be great, but if the story's no good, that's a real problem.
oh yeah. Well,
If
something else though, like
both
go ahead.
are real issues.
Oh,
Both are
sure.
real issues.
They in at least Metamorpho, like I feel like a lot of books, you can have them read in 3 minutes anymore. There's just not enough, to it. And I don't necessarily want a Silver Age, 1960s Marvel or DC dense level of text to read, but I want something in between. And this book in particular, I feel like really hit that balance. I mean, there's enough on the page, and they're all like that. There's things happening, and people talking. It's not just there was an X Factor I picked up that had three full page splash pages for no reason, just a big full art page with no dialogue, and it wasn't to pay off. And that's Mark Russell writes that, and he's an author I like a lot, but it's just like that weird quick pacing just seems like a real waste of my $5.
In the Absolute Batman, they have a couple pinups. Absolute Batman #1 that Nate, you were the one that turned. I didn't even know that existed until you showed it on one of your shows. I said, "Ooh, I like that." I've gone through issue 4, and I think I'm gonna basically, because I love the cover art I enjoyed the story too. It was a really different take for sure.
Yeah, it's the fourth issue kind of drugged for me, the one that just came out. But I hope it picked. It's been fun. It's been kind of like the yeah. You got the Akira cover, the homage. You got so many of them.
And there's so many of them to get. I
There's
really
so
was.
many.
I was blissfully unaware, and then then I'm looking, and then all of a sudden, 4, 5, 7, 8 next print, all in cover, blah blah blah. It's just and this one is 616 6/6.
Okay.
I ordered this book in November of last year, just as the thing was. They had just finished the art, and this is the Tyler Kirkham, and I think this is a connecting cover as
It is a
well.
connecting cover, yes.
Thank you, Cliff. But I really liked the look, and so they said buy this raw, and we guarantee a 9.8.
Wow.
And I think it was $85 or $90. I can't remember what it was. For this variant, and so I go, well, I really love that image. I think that's a great image of him. And so it finally arrived just last week. It took that long for them to, and I don't know how many they had to send in order to, for the number of people that signed up for it. I really am kind of, I don't know how that really works, as far as how many they have to send in, and the cost of that to make that thing pencil for all the cost of having them slabbed. Because I'll bet you they probably will pre-screen, send them a raft of them, and we need 40 of these to be 9/8, and here's 100. Send back what you don't use. But that's expensive to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
They make their money just fine. I'm
worried about them.
Well, I'm not worried about 616 unknown big time collectibles. They know what they're doing. They're pumping it out. They've got their MegaCon packages and foil packages and 9.8. I'm worried about small publishers like IDW and smaller, because Diamond is falling apart. It's Crisis on Infinite independent titles.
Well, hey,
I love your wall,
Wednesday,
Cliff. By the way, I love your wall. I think that's really great.
It's ever expanding, ever changing.
That's what I like. I mean, I do like, and I like what you got up. It's beautiful.
Mark, how dare you and how could you? I'm all about, just because I'm a little bit ignorant as to certain things, like this whole, like, first of all, not everyone can afford to do those ratios. It's expensive.
Someone screenshot this.
Oh, it's too funny. But okay, so the Diamond thing, I don't know if this is the problem or not. On Wednesday, I went to get new comic books. I actually, I have this whole system worked out at work as a teacher, like, that I can get out. Someone else will walk my kids to the bus so that I can run away and not get caught in a car rider line and make it into the city proper to the comic book shop that I go to. Shout out to Mages in Greenwood, because they are the best. But they had no new books from Marvel, DC, Image, or I can't remember or IDW. They had nothing.
Well, if they are solely reliant on Diamond, that's what happened.
They're not solely reliant on Diamond, but for whatever reason, everything at my shop was delayed 1 week. And then I thought it would be kind of like that with everybody, because I have seen a lot of things happening lately, but it seems like some people did get their books. So next Wednesday is going to freaking hurt for me, like wallet wise. It's going to be 2 weeks worth, but that really sucked. And so I don't know, were you able to get new books, Cliff?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. So,
but again, because my LCS uses everybody,
right?
Cliff is sassy in the morning. I am sassy in the morning.
He's sassy 24/7 from what I've
seen. Sassy when he's awake.
I don't got a good man to rein me in first thing in the morning, Mark.
Yeah. So Jason's in the same shape.
Yeah, my LCS was able to. I think they were able to get new books, but I I didn't ask about my pull box because I wanted to spend all of my $30 in the dollar bin. So I'll handle that later. But they were talking about the owner was in there, and he was talking about the diamond situation. And I'm not very well informed as far as that goes. Like, I'm not exactly 100% sure how it works. So I'm relying on people that have firsthand knowledge in the industry to sort of clue me in on how to feel about the whole thing. But he didn't seem he seemed to think that it was unfortunate.
Yeah,
Obviously, because it's a business related to an industry that we all love and enjoy and take part in. But he did also express that Diamond hadn't been holding up their end of the bargain in a lot of ways for a little while.
right.
And he seemed optimistic that something better would come in and fill the gap, whether that was like the individual companies figuring out ways to do that, or a new distributor, or something.
Well, there are more. Diamond used to be the sole distributor,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
and now because of all these issues they've had, people have dropped off. Marvel and DC don't even use them anymore. I don't think
Mhm.
Image does either. I think they lost Boom. There was like all the small publishers that were with them have started going with these other ones. So that's why I kind of didn't understand. I mean, maybe I don't know. I didn't understand why it was the biggest deal that they were going out, since they do have competition and people to pick up that slack now.
It
But
might
I'm like,
just be because it was a big name.
yeah. I mean, it really. I have no idea. I just know that comics. It seems like there have been weeks I've gone in and things don't come in from one publisher or another. And it might be because my shop is not like a mega shop, it's
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they get, huge numbers, so they're probably low on the totem pole. If you're going to ship your books, you're shipping to Midtown first, you're making sure that the
Well,
people
I
at
was
the
going to say, wait a second. Midtown is lunar. So so it's not even like there is no shipping. They are first, period.
Yeah.
There's two
Is that
major distributors now and Penguin. We got an East Coast one and a West Coast one. Everyone has the pleasure of now buying from the same company that also owns one of the greatest competitors in the country. Everyone, that is now their pleasure. Right? So Diamond enjoyed a long period of being an unintentional monopoly. And as soon as COVID hit and they said, hey, we want to play this safe, and you start messing with people's money, everything fell apart. DC jettisoned faster than Kal-El's rocket from an exploding Krypton. And it all went downhill.
excellent analogy. So apropos for this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my LCS also, like, because we had no books, they just had signs that they had printed all over the place. 15% off back issues, 15% off trades. So I did grab myself another EC. I got a Weird Science this time. It's more dinosaurs and spaceships. 15% off.
Yeah, let's take it back. Let's get retro.
Yeah, that sale for back issues would hit me right where I live, because I collect one current title. Guess what it is? My wife collects two, and so I don't get a lot of new books every week.
Mm-hmm.
There are some weeks where there's not a single new book in my pull box. So 15% off back issues. That's why I'm in the building. Like, I love old books. So yeah, that would be perfect for me. I don't know how the shop would feel about it, but it would be great for me.
I will say everybody, everybody that's there, we're all there to pick up our new books. We're walking the wall, freaking nothing came out. And you go look at the back issue bins and it looked like a comic book show. People were digging and making stacks. Like, by God, I intended to come in here and spend $30, and I'm not leaving till I've spent 50.
I was gonna say, and only 15% off. I would be like, oh, that's cute. See you next week.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because I didn't get much. I tell you what, I got the stupidest thing. And Steven, you might remember this. So this was a mistake. I got that Weird Science. I got this freaking White Tiger book that is a joke between me and Dope from Dope Comics. And what, Cliff? This was the weirdest thing I've ever read in my life.
What's really weird is, how did Marvel allow that to be published?
I don't know. I don't know. This is a legit, like, this is a furry book. There are people in fursuits who then get mutated into real animals. So it's like furry wish
Cats
fulfillment.
meets the island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah, yes. So this guy starts off as a guy in a beaver fursuit, and he's then taken by this mad scientist and turned into the white tiger. And the white tiger.
Xenoscope? Is that
Xenoscope? Yeah. So let me just read you the first. Okay, this is why I picked it up. Dope Comics sends this picture with, like, the LOL emoji. Because it's hilarious and we were laughing about it. And so nothing came out at the shop, and I'm walking the wall and I saw it and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll check that out. And the inside cover has this description. From the crazy and chaotic universe of Man, Goat, and the Bunny Man comes a brand new hero, the White Tiger, a mutant creation of the dastardly Puffy Penguin. The White Tiger was engineered to be a monstrous enforcer of evil. It goes on, but that was enough. I said, okay, I'm going to read this. Had I checked the price, I might not have, because this was freaking $5.99. This was a $6 book.
Man.
For a furry book, the art is actually fantastic.
Who does the art?
I am going to tell you. So see, oh my God. The story is by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. The writer is Otis Hawthorne, and the artwork is Unai Desarte. I don't know who that is, but it's not bad. It's not bad art. I really like this one particular panel in red there. Can I get my hand to it? Right there. He's using a human spine with a skull attached as a mace. He just ripped that out of somebody and then he's swinging it around. It's like
they stole it from Wonder Woman.
So I got that.
I was thinking Predator.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No, I'm just being funny because, like, I forgot the Wonder Woman Black Label, but she actually had to get like Kal-El's like spine and skull and use it at one point.
So I didn't mean to buy this. The true story is I had my Hello Darkness, whatever the newest issue is. That's the only book that came in for me on my pull list. Hello Darkness, a horror anthology. I saw this. Do you remember these toys, Power Lords, Steven? And it was.
I remember they were late in the day for me, but yes, I do, because I think my boys might have had 1 or 2 of them.
Right. So I saw this and I thought
a new low.
Nacelle is doing a lot of cool, like, nostalgic 80s stuff. And so I was going to grab it, and then I decided I didn't want it, so I put it back. But what I did was I put my Hello Darkness back in this spot on the wall, and when I got home, I had this. So that was a mistake. But I left my, and I haven't read this yet, but I will, because I bought it. I'm not going to take it back and try to get my money back or anything. I'm gonna after because they only had 15% off back issues, and the shop does not have cheap back issues. They're cover price usually. They're not cheaper than cover a lot of times. I just went to Half Price Books and did some digging for $1.50 a book, because that was a better sale. I was gonna spend my $40 on New Comic Book Day no matter what too. I had to have my pile.
It's a payment plan. It's not a budget. It's all going.
So I got some hot spec. Are you ready? So Comic Tropes posted this picture about the fact that there's a new Spider-Man cartoon on Disney Plus, which I have not watched yet. I'm going to watch it with my son. But in one of the episodes, Phil Grayson from 616 Continuity, NFL Super Pro, appears as a character, like Flash Thompson, but it's him. So my question to you guys is, which one's going to be worth more, do you think? Which one's going to spike? The regular #1 or the special edition? Because I've got them both.
Neither. It ain't gonna happen. No one. There are characters who I think are far more deserving, who are still sitting in the dollar bins. Darkhawk was the shit when I was a teenager, and now it's nothing and no one. He is just relegated to dollar bins. You know,
Dark.
ooh, you could pick up issue 1 for like $10. It used to be 50 when I was a teenager.
Yeah, but go find issue 50 of Darkhawk
Because
those
it's
later
the final
issues,
issue, it's always difficult.
Those I mean, from 40 to 50, those are expensive. And yeah, Darkhawk there was one issue of Darkhawk that had it was very what presumptuous of them. It said Darkhawk, the greatest hero of the 90s. And yeah, I was right there with you, Cliff. Teenage me was very excited. I thought he was so badass.
It's all we talked about in the cafeteria. Like, we talked about everything. Jim Lee X-Men, but Darkhawk was big. I remember Darkhawk number 2 came out. It's like, oh, he's fighting the Hobgoblin. It's crazy. You know?
Cliff, I completely disagree with you about NFL Super Pro. Everybody in chat, this is financial advice. Sell your homes and invest in both the special edition and the number 1. They're going to the moon. Trust me, this is financial advice. This is financial advice. You cannot go wrong. You will only make money. I myself have purchased 4,000 copies of each of those books. Oddly enough, it cost me $200.
I want to remind everyone that this is satire and not to be taken seriously.
This is not satire. This is legitimate financial advice.
It will not be legally responsible for your terrible actions. Do not do this.
I mean, gentlemen, this is a Joe Jusko cover.
That may be true, but no one cares.
And it's going to be worth thousands of dollars, so buy it now.
They will never.
From the same geniuses who brought you the recommendation to buy the ferrets. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I bought me ferrets to as a matter of self-protection.
Steven has so many ferrets.
I have. Now that's kind of a personal thing. I bought for $16. They're all 3, the die cuts, all of those, and they came in a stack. And I think that they said, or best offer. And I put a lower bid and they said, yes, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Of course.
And so I have them. I have the Turok number 1, but I have the gold foil. I have the Wowie Zowie. I have 2 perfect copies of Darkhawk 1. And I don't think that's that bad of a book, if you really want to know. I think Darkhawk's a pretty good book.
For what it was, I liked it a lot. It had a lot of parallels to Spider-Man. Like a teenage hero gets powers and tries to balance his hero life and his personal life. But it was very 90s. I don't
think that you can say that a book is bad if kids enjoyed it. It doesn't matter how adults feel about it. Like, a book can be great because kids and adults can both like it. But if a kid enjoys a comic book, I don't think you can say that it's bad, because at the end of the day, that's what it's for. Yeah. There's a picture that I saw, I think just scrolling on Reddit a couple days ago. And it was of a little kid wearing like a handmade cloth Captain America outfit. It was a black and white picture. He was obviously like in the 40s ish, and he was reading a Golden Age Captain America book. And he had it like all folded up, and he was reading it. And I was like, "That's a $2,000 book right there." But that kid was like, he was reading it for what it was, and he was enjoying it. And that's what they're for. And I really, really like that.
That time period, with Darkhawk and X-Force and Jim Lee on the X-Men, like, there were a lot of books that, I wouldn't say are good reads necessarily, but they had a lot of people reading them at the time. And because of that, especially, people my age, there's just a lot of nostalgia for that stuff. And I'm with you, man. It wasn't it.
Kane Noonan absolutely loathes and detests the ferret beyond any, unless I think it's an act.
I don't know if it's an act. If it's an act, it's the most consistent act I've ever seen.
He really hates the ferret.
Yeah, it's a very, and if it's an act, it's Andy Kaufman level.
Yeah,
it's well done.
It's
and I don't.
hilarious that this is my influence on the comic market, or this is our.
And I'd like to
influence on the
thank you
comic
for that
market.
very
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much,
That's
Hagen.
this your legacy. This is your legacy.
It'll be on my tombstone. I'll make
It
damn
will.
sure of
I'll
that.
make sure of it.
Does anybody, who is the guy that has the ferret as a handle? There is the ferret.
I have no idea who that is.
And he has the picture of the ferret
He
with
has
the
the
mullet
picture.
and the whole thing. Oh, the mullet. Oh, God. It is so execrable. It's wonderful.
It's amazing. And yeah, that guy that started showing up in our chat with the ferret thing, it cracks me
Everybody
he's
came
in character.
unglued. It's Hagen's. It's Hagen has a separate identity that he's doing this, and he's trolling us. He's trolling us beautifully on that.
Now, I personally think it's K Munin. That's my.
Oh,
that's my
that
theory.
would be perfect.
That would be awesome.
That would. I think that I think that is what it is. K Munin, you've really fooled us. You are the ferret. Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh man, K Munin just threw his phone.
He just threw up into his coffee cup.
There's an iPhone 16 shaped hole in his drywall right now.
That might not be the only hole in his drywall. Watch out.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. All right. What else, gentlemen? Anything else anybody read last week that you thought was like real? Because I didn't have much new stuff at all. I read almost everything I read was old.
All right. So for fun, I'm having fun reading West Coast Avengers.
Okay.
All right. Goody Two Shoes Ultron being faced with evil Ultron is. I like it. This is a hard book. There are serious tones in this book, but there's also Justice League International tones in this book, right?
So now you're speaking my language.
So like you've got stuff like Spider-Woman's like, I still want to know what happened to my son, right? I'm still looking for what happened. But then you've got Goody Two Shoes Ultron like, hi, I'm Ultron. Don't be afraid of me. I'm not that guy. And then like evil Ultron shows up on the last page of issue 2 and he's like, I don't know him. And Firestar's like, I'm done. I'm out. I can't be here. Because like like Ultron introduced himself to Firestar and she got this cold chill and it reminded her of when she was working undercover with Nimrod touching her and telling her what a good little mutant she was, and it just made her sick to her stomach, right? So there's like that. Also, super fun. Spider-Boy, all right? Okay, we're still learning about Spider-Girl, who is the protege of Bullseye, as Spider-Boy is the protege of Daredevil. And so they followed them across the world with Hulkette last issue, and they ended up at this like ninja. Oh my God, what do you even call one of those things? Like they just ended up in this like ninja.
Dojo.
No, like what do you call it when it's like a ninja citadel? It was like a ninja citadel, and it's like you must face trial by combat. And Spider-Boy is just talking shit, and he's like, "Oh yeah, and we accept." And then like this issue just picks right up, you know, and it's cute because like I don't think Spider-Girl really wants to be all bad, but she's totally like she's doing her thing. Hulkette also is like not like Goody Two Shoes either, but again, like you could see that there's a hero there. Anyhow, fun and cute, and of course, I love fun and cute because I am loving New Champions, where we will see these characters also. So that makes me happy. Let's see. This was too short. Why would you get a bunch of creators together to do a Storm Marvel Voices that is, although I love $4.99, like thank you for keeping it affordable, but it is too short. Like get it together, Marvel. Also, still love it because it's Storm. And Rise of the Power Company. They're bringing the Power Company back, and rather than all the classic characters, actually they're not classic, are they? All those characters that they created to work with Isaiah Power, it's out. Now they've just got all these. They've got Black African-American superhero characters who we are more familiar with, and they are working together with Isaiah. And so we can look forward to a new Power Company. So we've got White Adam, we've got Vixen, we've got Steel, we've got all sorts of characters like coming together because there's a new threat lurking in the DC universe, and it's not Darkseid. So we'll see how that goes.
Isn't there always?
No.
Yeah.
Is there another crossover coming? I'm
I don't think
recovering
it's gonna
from
be
the
a big
last one.
crossover. I don't think it's gonna be a big crossover. And then lastly, great book. All right.
Okay.
Great book. Johnson doesn't fail me. Wolverine gets introduced into the fray here. Love it. This Ghost Rider, it's a great time. And you know what I love about it? It's perfectly done, so it doesn't mess up everybody's freaking continuity. And then lastly, I ended up with this book, and I'm still fighting for my money because they were supposed to refund me everything, and it looks like they did, and then it looks like they took it right back. So I'm having some online beef. But this is actually the second appearance of the Spectre in Adventure Comics, but it's the one titled The Spectre Returns. And I think that's weird because I recently acquired the issue before this and I read it and it looked like he returned there. So, and if you look online, there are people online who are like, oh, this is the issue where he returns. Regardless of that, Jim Aparo artwork, gorgeous, great book, fabulous cover. I was like, if this goes down in history just for the fabulous cover, I love it. This Snake Eyes inspiring mofo right here. Love it. Love all of it. Great story. A little bit haunting the way it should be, kids. And
I'm not denigrating that book at all. Is the cover faded on that, or is that like a webcam artifact?
It might be a little faded. This is the first time I've seen an original up close and personal.
I was gonna say
I have that one, and mine looks very similar.
I was gonna say
mine does too.
If that is the actual like color of that is absolutely gorgeous. Like even if that's just patina, like I really love like the dark red and the sort of, it's not washed out. It's just, it just looks so good. I can't explain why I love that so much, but it looks fantastic.
No, it is. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. And like a lot of the Adventure Comics covers from this era are great, but this one is quite possibly my favorite.
Damn it, Cliff. What issue number is that? I gotta
432.
Write that down. Crap. This always happens. My Heroes Con list is growing and growing and growing.
Oh, that's so cute. You don't even have to wait for Heroes Con. This is quite affordable. You could just snag it right up.
Yeah, I know, but it would be more fun if like I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with Nate and our hands. Are you going to
continue this jealousy? Because let me tell you something. I'm going to be right there at Heroes Con, right there, right between. I'm going to be on one side of Nate. You're going to be on the other side, and we're going to be shopping for comics.
Well, then all of our hands are going to reach it at the same time. Okay, and we're going to have to mud wrestle.
Don't play gay chicken with me. Don't play. I will take you guys back to the hotel room and teach you a few things. You know,
I have two hands.
And there's the other issue. There's 431.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool too.
Very cool.
I
do not have that
character.
I am really starting. Okay, so I'm totally into Silver Age 10 and 12 cent DC, but I am really starting to dig this 20 cent era. The two circles.
20 centers are great. They give you a lot of value.
Yeah.
It's not even so much. I don't even know so much about there's value, but also I really feel like they were starting to come into their own in the 20 cent era.
Well, there were so many great like supernatural and horror and war books from that time period is the thing. Yes. Like they were, there were superhero books, sure, but they were really branching out. Look at that. I swore I wasn't gonna go into the Spectre run, but
the Spectre run on Adventure Comics is from 431 to 440. It's not long.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And at 14 and at 13 and 14 bucks an issue,
Boy, they were not, when I got these, they were not. They were they didn't, I don't think they understood how good this was, but the artwork and the color schemes on these, I just fell in love with them right away.
I have that one.
And don't he get me in the Phantom Strangers from that era? Beautiful.
Yeah. I do like that book. Very cool.
Spectre is threatening to be a character that I not a run that I go after, but a character that I actively seek out when I'm done chipping away at my Capron.
Well,
it's a good place to go. I like the Black Orchid too. There's only 3 issues of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
And
Black
she's
Orchid
fabulous.
is beautiful. They
Yeah.
didn't use her well at all. They had a great character, and then they should have left where they were, and then they started messing around with it. I don't know where it is now as far as what they're doing with it at all.
They have. I don't think anyone's touched Black Orchid in years. I'm sure they'll bring her back again just to not lose the copyrights.
Well, yeah, that's the game. We're coming up on an hour, and I don't want to step on Church with Bleecker, which is starting here in about 5 minutes or so.
It's starting in 20 minutes.
Oh, is it 20?
Yeah, 10:45 he starts.
Oh, well, see, you know this.
I've been watching the clock, baby. I've been watching.
You know the schedule.
And of course, I know the schedule because I post the schedule. If you check Instagram now, you will see my schedule is up for the Sunday lineup.
Awesome.
Which begins at 10:45 a.m. with Bleecker Street Comics. Going to 3:30 p.m., we get to see our buddy David at still 35 cents. Today, he's got an original art haul from Loch Nguyen. At 5 p.m., join me in the Council of Comics as we review Jurassic Park and, of course, the latest box office news. 6 p.m., Matt with Heroes for Hires Comics and his Sunday Super Show extravaganza. At 7 p.m., K-Pop has Nerd Out Cards that she's going to be interviewing. 8:30 p.m., you look forward to Legion of Comics at Week's End with Mark. And 9 p.m., Black Crown Comics. I don't know who the guest is tonight. And that's how you round out your Sunday nights in the comic book community, everybody.
Thank you, Cliff. Just do me a favor, and next Sunday, add the Sunday Comic Book Hangover show at 9:30, would you?
I'll add you to the group so that you can give me your thoughts.
Awesome. Hagen, are you going to host next week's?
Yeah, I mean, host is a loose term. I'm gonna introduce everybody, and then we're all gonna run loose, kind of like what's happened here. But yeah.
So he and I are gonna alternate weeks. So next week's show will be on his channel, and then back and forth like that. But we'll send it to you, Cliff, for sure.
Good. You're welcome to the group. You're in now.
We're in. We did it.
We did it, Reddit.
It's not a big deal. It
is to me.
It is a big deal. Well, it's a very interesting legacy, right? Because it used to be Durs who was in charge of it. Okay. And he got that new gig with Rock Comics, which so now it's like that's his whole life, the poor guy. And as he lives his dream job. And but anyhow, so I was like, okay, I'll do it. So now I've been in charge of Sunday thumbnails, and so here we are.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
I'm the Sunday lineup guy.
In all sincerity, like it is a big deal because I don't know, man. I certainly didn't foresee this. I didn't foresee YouTube going anywhere. I just thought I'd be talking into the wind, and I have ended up like meeting a lot of really cool people. All three of you are a big part of that. So I'm having a blast, man. So it is a big deal, Cliff. It is a big deal. I love this.
Because that's the main reason why I want to be here. When I started YouTube stuff many years ago, I always felt like I was talking into the wind, right? Always. And it was only recently where it was like, oh, there's all this stuff on YouTube. And I'm like, oh, really? And then Empire was the one that got us into it, may rest in peace. And so he was just like, no, there's all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, really? And, and I'm not ashamed to say I owe a lot to Brian LCS for being the first to reach out and, and be inclusive. So I will always appreciate that. And I will stand by that.
I was worried that the whole YouTube thing was going to feel like me talking into the wind, but Mon Comics was actually the very first subscriber to my channel aside from my main YouTube account, which I subscribed to myself with. But yeah, Brandon from Mon Comics, I reached out to him a couple months before I started it, and I was just like, hey, I'm considering doing this. I had been using it to comment on his videos for a while, and he was the very first non-me subscriber to my channel, and I felt a lot of love immediately from the community. Within a week, I was on Ricky from All Sorts of Words channel doing a stream with him, and Mike from Lunch Money Comics, and Ryan Colossus Collector, and this, that, and the other, and Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I think we've all said as much, but I just kind of expected to just do this as a thing to kill time. And I've met like a lot of genuinely really, really cool people, and people that I really enjoy talking to in doing this. That
And,
was
like,
not something that I expected.
No, not at
But
all.
we're super happy to have you. I still remember getting the little text chat that you hadn't hit 100 subscribers yet and to go check you out. And I was like, oh, how nice.
I'm going to go through my stack real quick. This is just my read pile because I don't know. This is what I had. So I have liked this question mini series. This has been a lot of fun. This is Renee Montoya on the watch. She's like she's the investigator. She's the sheriff of the superheroes on the Watchtower for Justice League Unlimited.
And I love it. And I always love when there's tension between her and Batwoman. They're my favorite couple.
It's good.
I was so pissed when they started wasting my time with Maggie Sawyer.
I also like that she's got, and they haven't done much with it yet, but the Blue Beetles are, like her tech crew, Ted Cord and Jaime Reyes, which is cool. And Justice League Unlimited continues to be, fun. It's a fun read for me.
And impressive because it ties into the other action very well.
Exactly. Yeah. And this, and Cliff, you yelled at me for dropping World's Finest, but this is why I dropped World's Finest, was so that I could get my Mark Wade, Dan Mora art.
You're still wrong for dropping World's Finest, but I mean, good.
I know
for getting in.
But this was good.
There's so many things you could have dropped. So many things.
I know. Can't read it all. Can't collect it all. But by God, I can finish Amethyst Princess of Gem World.
That's right.
I already showed Metamorpho. This is I think Superman is my favorite ongoing fun read right now. Lois with superpowers, the Time Trapper. I'm
a little. I think they've made sense of making the new Time Trapper, but I hate it.
Yeah.
Because I love the Time Trapper being mysterious and typically a Legion villain. And let's face it, they've really done a number on us with the Time Trapper. Okay, one time it was Glorith because she was so freaking angry of what Time Trapper had done to her that she took his powers and she made herself into the new Time Trapper. Then and of course that was after Mon-El defeated that Time Trapper too and erased Superboy from history. Then we get an all-new Time Trapper, which at the end of Zero Hour is revealed to us to be Cosmic Boy all along. But then Zero Hour wipes everything else. The next time we have the Time Trapper reveal, actually, we don't even get it. It's in Legionnaires, and they never fulfill who that Time Trapper is. Then another reboot.
Don't stab yourself in the eye with that knife.
You flailing this knife around is terrifying.
Then Legion of Three Worlds shows up to try and fix everything one more time, and Time Trapper is Superboy Prime. And now we go way back to the 90s to when Superman defeated Doomsday by tossing his ass into the end of Oblivion in time, and that mofo's like, no, I can't die, so I evolved into the Time Trapper. So come on, folks.
Who's writing this? Who's writing that?
Well, I think Cliff just summed up about 40 years of DC Time Trapper continuity in 5 frantic minutes with a knife.
Boy, this is a tough crowd. They pull a knife on you.
Are you still? Oh my God! Oh my God! You got a comic shipped in a Honey Bunches of Oats box.
Look at this! Look at this! Look.
Oh man!
Good God! Where they go to the dump? What do they do?
The creativity that people are putting together to make a book on eBay. The economy is rough, folks.
It's just a cardboard casserole that you've got going on over there.
Random pieces of cardboard and taped it together to form a shield.
Well, at least they did something. At least they didn't just send it to you raw in a floppy envelope and just have the book get trashed. And that happens too.
I've been sent unbagged, unboarded, just in a plain old manila envelope. Like that is at least something.
You just like to run the risk? You just like to throw risk out there?
I guess they did.
It's no respect for the book, and it's no respect for the buyer.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, like that's crazy.
That is hysterical. Yeah, the worst I ever got was just a manila envelope with like 20 books that were unbagged, unboarded, just in a paper envelope. Not even the kind that's got, like a plastic liner in case it rains. And of course, when I got it, it was raining. It was just sitting on my porch. Now, somehow the comics weren't wet. And they were
they'll send you the ferret like that, and they will arrive perfectly. And if it's a book that you want that is actually nice, then the road grader goes over it.
When I got my run of the ferret,
it's free. I did it. I freed it. I freed it from its prison.
So what
free
is
at
it?
last.
25-cent Thor.
Issue 233.
Nate, are you writing that down?
I am not. I have said before. Cover. I'll say it again. I cannot get less excited for a hero than Thor.
But what? You don't you can't even acknowledge it's a beautiful cover.
I totally will acknowledge that it's a nice cover. The Thor Silver Surfer cover, the famous one. I love that. But
by the way, people crap on that book all the time because it's just a popular cover. Do you know what everyone forgets, including CGC and their dumbass? All right,
no, don't cut me. Don't cut me.
It is the second appearance of Mephisto, and I'm putting the knife down because I can see it now.
We're gonna get like a. You're gonna do like one big swipe.
Put the knife down.
Lost. You're gonna cut through your internet cable with that thing.
I'm doing Wi-Fi down here. It's good.
Oh, all right. Let's get ready to wrap it up to give people time to go pee before they go to church.
Yes.
I'm gonna plug on Tuesday. I will be joined by Hagen and Mr. Akins from What's on the Comic Rack. We are doing a giveaway stream. I have linked a video in the description of this video right now, so that you can go enter my giveaway. And if you join us in the live chat that night, I think we're going to do some giveaways as well in the chat. So it's not hate. It's not hate. It's an aversion. I just don't read it. I don't care for it. I'm not
hate for me.
He is full of hate. Look at him. Evil.
I don't know why. First of all, do y'all have an aversion to sexy godlike muscle men? No Thor, no Namor. What are you doing? We can't have powerful, sometimes arrogant men, doing something good rather than the real world where they don't.
You absolutely can have that, but I don't have to have that if I don't want it.
Speaking of arrogant and powerful characters, Blue Bolt on this special. I can't remember. I think it's 1 in 25 West Coast Avengers that Shane from 1063 sent to me. I appreciate it very much. Beautiful stuff.
Cliff, do you have Jeff the Land Shark out of West Coast Avengers?
Yeah, because I was buying West Coast Avengers for fun. Well,
Yeah, I play way too much Marvel Rivals, and that spiked because of that, and it's so silly. And I know Hagen's probably kicking himself for not having tracked down the first appearance when it was $1.
Yep.
It was $1 book.
Because I bought this like a year and a half ago just because I thought he was cute. I love Jeff the Land Shark, and now his first appearance is like $1 billion or whatever.
It's only $289. Stop crying and save for heroes.
I am not spending $289 on West Cost Avengers 7. No.
Oh, that's if it's in a 9.8. Maybe you can pick it up for $50 in Raw.
Oh,
come on! The three of us will be there at Heroes together. The three of us will yell at one. We'll find one guy who looks weak, who's got a Raw copy, and we'll combine our efforts like the three Phantom Zone villains and Superman.
$5 or bust.
Oh, we're not doing that. No one's giving it up for $5.
You're going to be waiting a while.
But you might find it in a dollar bin. You could find it in a dollar bin.
I bet you money that it's knocking around the bins at Second and Charles. I'll bet you money. They are the kind of store that would have that just hanging out there.
Yeah, it's also possible to find in a half price books bin. That's one that people aren't necessarily going to know it's a wanted key right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you are not subscribed to Cliff on Comics or Lettuce Comics, you should be. Their links are in the description here. Steven is on Instagram as Collecto6, and he posts amazing books and tells you the history of them, and is on with Alan on Mondays and Fridays on the Comic Collector Geek channel. Thank you so much. There were a lot of people in the chat today. God, we had, 24 of you are up early. Why? I need a nap after this.
Showing the flag.
That's right. Guys, thank you so much for getting up and doing this. This was a ton of fun. And we will, Hagen and I will be back next week for sure. And again, we don't know what we're doing, but we're
I'm so proud.
But we hope we gave you what you paid for.
What's that, Hagen?
I just said we hope we give you what you paid for.
Yes. All right. So everybody go to church and check out all of those other shows that Sunday is packed with that Cliff ran us through. And come join me on Tuesday night for the giveaway stream. So we will see you next time. Everybody have a great rest of your Sunday and have a great week that's coming. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Bye.